XL, they've got a tall order ahead of them because guess who's on Wind and Rain as well? Matty, who was in the finals on the team at Singularity, who didn't make it this time around.
That's
a lot of familiar names.
No surprise seeing that game go away straight away.
It's the XL combo, right? The Zac and the Galio are the two big ones for them.
No surprise. No surprise seeing that game
go away from Rifty. Because you were speaking earlier on and saying what else does it force him onto, and you mentioned the Fiora, but we kind of said, well, we don't really get to see it that often, but we might see it if he really wants to play something aggressive in the top side.
Yeah, I would be more likely to see Fiora if you pick it into Camille, but not necessarily pick it because you don't get Camille.
Target. They're going to. Okay. What did Godbro play? Echo. Think about that next.
Yeah.
This is what Dan played.
Exactly what they played. Yeah.
So we'll see a very different war today because the other day it was dominating, controlling net lanes, which enabled Dan to go and do his thing in the jungle and just try and shut down the opposition, and it worked for them. So I think taking those 2 picks away already completely changes the game plan. I'm very curious to see what Dan on war side takes up here.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that they've put 2. They actually do ban the Echo.
So,
I was joking, guys. Come on.
You're not allowed to play anything you played on Tuesday. No, sorry. Zoe, obvious ban away. We can't imagine we're going to see that one let through anytime soon. Not after the devastation from the LCK and NA. I mean, I want to see Zoe really bad.
I would love to see Zoe. At least she's getting some kind of presence here.
Yeah, true.
They're actually respecting her here.
This has been the theme consistently for blue side drafts. It's always going for the control, the high pressure mid lane, which can then roam and influence other lanes. We saw it with the Galio, we saw it with the Talia the other day. Godbro thinking, fine, you take my echo off me, I'm just going to go and destroy every other lane you've got.
I think Azir,
lock it in.
I'd be surprised if they lock that one in.
Chill yourself, my friend.
I mean, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You wouldn't blind pick a Kali.
Rifty is dying for Irelia to come back in, so that'd be a real middle finger up to him. But of course,
I think you're most likely going to see Azir and Ryze are the 2 most likely candidates here, and I would say that Azir does better into Talia because you're going to get shoved under tower a lot when you're playing Ryze into that matchup. So I mean, both of those would be solid pickups as well. You don't have to pick it here because if you want to, you can just if you really want a power pick like the Sejuani, but it does mean I
was about to say, they could pick up a support here instead, at least lock that one down for themselves. Brawn, fantastic choice. That's going to go towards the bottom side, but hey, guess what? If you don't pick the Sedge, or if you don't pick the Zac, you pick this, I
can't remember who it was the other day. One team took
one of them.
One team took away the Sejuani and Brawn because the team fight disruption that you have with both of those passes is literally insane. Now, on the other side, Dan taking away the Zac, that's just basically saying to Tax, all right, you take the Sejuani, I'm going to take your main and show you how to play this thing. And if he makes a big impact on it, well, they're in Wonderland. The Zilean pick really surprises me.
I was going to say, I think this is the first game in the whole of the Prem where Tom Kench isn't picked or banned. If I'm not mistaken, he's had 100% presence so far.
They ban it away here,
as well, so.
Oh, the Zilean, of course, already been picked, so they don't need to. It's very strange, I agree.
Yeah, so
that Zilean could go towards the mid lane, though. Godbro has got a really big... Oh, yeah.
I mean, Talia supports.
He's got a really
Talia
big
support might be a thing, mate, but I don't know too much about that.
There is this one-trick Talia support that I play versus in High Diamond, Low Master, and he is very good.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't think that's him, though.
I don't think AOD is that guy.
But it could be.
Could be.
AOD is it's like Bard exclusive. His Bard game the other day was insane. And I think he's still subbing in for them. So they actually have a main support. He's their coach, I think, who's subbing in for them, playing on the Bard. So, well, in this case, playing on the Zilean, we should say. We assume the Zilean. Could be the Talia. Might have your dreams realised. We don't know yet.
I always ignore first pick. I'm like, oh, Zilean, Poggers. maybe Zilean.
Big. Zilean's kind of one of those sleeper OPs in solo queue at the minute because mid lane, his win rate is ridiculous for a wide myriad of reasons, but he's very, very safe in the mid lane, got great wave clear, so deals with things like the Azir and the pressure they create in the lane. In this case, it's going to be going towards the support anyway, but still a very, very valuable pick to have, especially if you're going for something like a hyper carry.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Tristana pick out of XL here. Just because you can pick Tristana into basically anything, she's very safe as far as your AD carry goes, and they're going to have to blind pick something right now. You're either blind picking your top laner or you're blind picking your AD carry. And I feel like you'd rather blind pick the AD carry here.
You could almost think XL's top laner is Kerberos, given the Nazar spam going away there, but nope, not quite to be the case.
Come on, do Tristana and make me look like a god.
It has to be Tristana. Tristana's way stronger than Caitlyn is. If you're going to go for this hyper scaling, especially with the Braum, I mean, it makes a lot more sense. She's got the attack speed steroid as well to proc the Winter's Bite fairly early on as well. Tristana makes sense. There you go.
Crystal ball from the last game. I told you that Sejuani Ultimate was going to be the first player of the game. What did I say about Tristana and Azir? I called that one too, by the way.
That's 2 games.
I'm adding that to my tab.
Colorcaster, by the way.
Oh. Nice.
Wow.
Sendo played this before, so it's not like he's any you know...
He did play it.
Mystery man into
and
the
didn't have the best early game either. He played it into the Poppy knowing that it was very likely that the other side would take it away because I think it was NXT in the top lane and his main is Poppy. So he thought, well, if we take the Urgot there, it's going to bully him if he chooses that pick. He did pick it in the end. Rifty is a very, very aggressive top laner, and to me, this is just screaming, I want to destroy my lane. No questions asked. Pick what you want. I'm going to ruin you. Now, on the other side, looking at what they've got 2 huge carries in the Azir and the Tristana, so a tank would make sense. Ornn, quite a natural pick these days to go to in that case as well.
That wombo combo, if it goes off this game, is going to be pretty deadly when you have the Sejuani ultimate or the Ornn ultimate, one of those into the other one, basically, and then just the follow-up is going to be
so much
pretty ridiculous.
There's so much frontline as well for Venza to kind of pop off here. That's the scary thing. How and when do Wind and Rain actually touch the back line here? We've got Dan, we Elastic Slingshot in, we know what he can kind of do, we know what Zach can do as a champion, but how do you actually interact with the Tristana at this point? Because as soon as she gets to level 18, that passive stacks up so much that she outranges everybody on the side of Wind and Rain.
Yeah, the team fight is really strange on Wind and Rain, so I think for them, for the most part, they're going to try and not go for the large team fight skirmishes against XL. Their focus is on these lanes. That's why Godbro's gone for the Talia again. As we saw the other day, it's all about impacting side lanes and getting yourself ahead that way. If you can shut down the lanes, there's no team fight to be had. You win regardless.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried, honestly, for Wind and Rain here. I feel like unless they execute the strategy pretty well with the Talia and the Urgot, which I would say is difficult to do, if they do it, cool. If not, XL has a pretty easy comp to play, and it's a very solid comp.
Yeah.
And the late game scaling on that is crazy. You have,
I mean, it's all the OP picks, right? Like every pick they've got there. Bar maybe you'd argue the Brawn could be swapped out for a Tahm Kench, but it synergizes incredibly well with Sejuani. There's no pick I look at that team and think, well, I'd swap that out for this maybe here because it's not ideal. Like everything looks super solid.
If we had like a time reverser as well, get Ornn pre-nerf, this would be just...
I think Ornn would be banned in that case.
Yeah, probably.
He was a little bit too strong. I love how he was like sleeper OP, like 36% win rate or something ridiculously low, and then they buffed him slightly, and it was like,
well, he had the dreaded like double buff of Doom because that just basically cosigns a champion to be nerfed to Oblivion in the next patch. And to be fair, he hasn't really been nerfed. It's just the Unstoppable that's been removed. He still has that incredibly high base damage on his W. Getting nerfed in 8.4, by the way, rip on. But otherwise, at the minute, still really, really good.
Unlucky.
Big unlucky.
But Wind and Rain versus XL, again, 2 undefeated teams. It's only been 1 week, or at least this is the first week even, so one of these teams will be handed a loss. But we're going to jump into game, however. Wind and Rain over on the blue, XL over on the reds. We're going to jump onto the Rift, Foxdrop.
Yes, we are. And 2, again, undefeated teams. Incredible 100% win rate.
How do they do it?
Just amazing.
5 now, right now, in 5 easy steps.
Oh, wait, don't take any of my ideas, yeah? Let me write that one down.
On the video, yeah.
Video tomorrow.
Video tomorrow. 5 easy steps how to carry an ESL.
My nan divorced me for this one.
What?
You got to get them in, mate.
All right.
Thumbnail with... Yeah, you know what? We should probably discuss
Stay away.
tactics.
Give away all your secrets.
Yeah, that's true. Not for free, at least.
Oh, well. We just have to look at Night Blue's channel and to get all those kind of ones.
Yeah, if you can do that. He's not doing too bad for himself.
No?
If you've heard of him, he's all right.
He's all right.
He does things.
He's an all right dude.
He's fairly popular. He's whatever, really.
He's whatever. Never compared to
not jealous.
UK Foxdrop.
Well, what can I say? I'm here, and where is he? Probably making millions of dollars on the stream.
Probably making...
What a loser.
I know who I'd rather be. Well, XL, starting on the blue side, as you can imagine. So, Venza and Jewel in the bottom lane. Let's go. They need to build up this foundation that was left when Inax and Orcs did depart from the roster of XL. It's all on their shoulders. Realistically, I want to look at this game and go, okay, they're going to prove themselves here. They're going to make it or break it. But coming up against Xmati, who was on Singularity last time around the ESL Premiership, who got to the finals, that is a tough opposition. Zilean also, very annoying. AOD is going to be proved quite a bit of a nightmare in the lane.
Yeah, melee supports into ranged poke supports is kind of irritating. Zilean is not the worst one for those, but still pretty annoying, honestly. And I mean, we talked about, you just mentioned Venza and Jewel having that pressure on them because Inax, the god, is his name. He's not here anymore. So you've got big shoes to fill, and it probably doesn't help that they literally said they are the best bot lane in the UK Prem. So, yeah, I guess that amount of hype has probably given them something to prove in this game, and I like XL's composition in as far as it goes to enable these carries, you know, like Venza here and Krimmel. I mentioned Krimmel as kind of my player to watch, and this is perfect. And I'm glad that Wind and Rain banned away the Galio, not just because Galio is kind of boring to watch, but it means that Krimmel, he's on something right now where this is a carry. You don't pick Azir just for your kind of utility purposes. You pick Azir because he scales really hard, he waves clear, safe, all that lovely business. So Krimmel, he can carry this game. Venza, he can carry it too. And both these people, we're kind of looking to see whether they can put it out of the bag. Oh, he's going in as well.
Gobro's taken extremely low. Krumel, gets shifted backwards.
That was a good.
Doesn't quite find anything just yet. Gobro, though, holding on to the summoners. Extremely important factor.
Yeah, I'm not... I mean, that cleanse might not work in Gobro's favor here if he starts losing this 1v1, because it really doesn't do anything for the Azir matchup. It's good versus Sejuani. It's very good versus Sejuani. But as far as his actual pure lane matchup goes, Krimmel really should not lose this lane. He's got heal. Gobro has cleanse, so Gobro's just going to be looking to farm a little bit. He would look to shove Azir in, but how do you shove an Azir in? That's going to be pretty hard to do as well. And if you're Wind and Rain, you're probably going to be looking around the top side mostly here. Because if you have an Urgot and you don't get them ahead, it's a little bit like, why did you pick Urgot? He's very good in the lane phase, and if you're not making use of that,
what are you doing?
It's not particularly ideal strategy, really.
Venza pushing him in. Taxa being very cheeky here. He's actually got a ward over that wall. Dan is aware of this factor, however. He's going to position himself just so, yep, just to make sure he can actually spot Taxa out. Taking that blast cone away, though. Every little helps. Tendo actually taking a lot of damage in this top lane. Rifty making his way forward, making his presence known, taking the Doran's blade over the Doran's shield. Wants all offense, no defense. Thank you very much.
He got one mini chicken.
That'll do.
That's worth the minute he's invested into the spot side. I mean, he really wants to get something here, but even just spotting Dan out is pretty good still. He's going to have to back away here as AOD rotates from the bot side, and he's going to grab himself a cheeky pink ward there, Zillion, so that's a nice roam. But getting eyes on the Zac is nice. It's always good. I mean, in solo queue, if you're a jungler and you ever find yourself playing games where the enemy jungler gets ahead a lot, oftentimes, even if you're not there to kind of counter his ganks, there's more you can be doing. If you're playing jungle efficiently, the enemy jungler doesn't get particularly far ahead. Don't get loads of ganks off because you get vision on them. You always know where they are. You're invading their jungle. You can track them like that. So Taxa doing that right now. He's under no pressure either to have to like pop off in this early game or anything. So he can track the enemy jungler if he wants to. I mean, he's just playing Sejuani, so he can be a little bit chill here.
He's level 5 already. So is Dan. So right now, I think we're going to see, like we did earlier on, just a little bit more of a slow early game. Oh, hang on a second though. Rifty, okay. Fear Beyond Death not quite finding the mark.
Well, here's Dan. I don't know whether they want to go for this dive here. I mean, they've kind of caught XL with their pants down a little bit.
Wave's pushing up as well.
I don't think he doesn't want to do it.
I don't know.
Is he scared of a counter or something? I mean,
they literally just pinged Sedge out as well mid lane. Dan not opting to actually go for the engagement there, even though Sendo did blow his flash. Same with Rifty though.
There was a small window there, to be fair, because Sendo, the reason why that fight happened in the top side was because Rifty has the level 6, Sendo was still level 5, so he has that ultimate advantage. But now that Sendo is level 6, if you try and dive that, I guess the Call of the Forged God is just going to really ruin that message there. But, I mean, there's no real pressure. Well, actually, I'm lying. There's actually quite a huge amount of pressure for this Urgot to get snowballing. And oh, there's a jump in.
Venza jumping forward very aggressively. As soon as Duel got stunned, he was like, mine, go time.
That's like the anti-Prosphere right there,
yeah.
Where your support gets engaged on, the AD carry jumps forward. Like, leave our support alone. We saw Prosphere's very good at doing the opposite. AD carry gets engaged on.
Venza actually taking TP here as well. Unsealed Spellbook taken by the Tristana, so was able actually to get back in lane. No miss CS, and he has a BF Sword in his back pocket.
That is a huge, huge thing as well. I'm glad you pointed that out. BF Sword versus Doran's Blade. That's an advantage for the BF Sword.
One emote that sum up that perfectly. Xmatty right now, Monk S.
Yeah, he's pretty scared right now. I mean, I can't see what he's gone for, but if he has the Answer Spellbook as well, which is not that uncommon. Well, he actually cancelled his recall, actually, so maybe he doesn't have it. I guess it's not uncommon to go Fleet Footwork on Varus, so he's probably got that.
Creative Corruption as well is available. Dan is in the bottom side, so maybe they look for a small engagement here. Maybe try and blow Venza's Flash or Jules' Flash as well.
Honestly, if I'm XL right now, I just go bot side and I just start up Dragon. It's an Infernal Dragon. It's really important. And you know you can't really lose the fight when you have a BF sword advantage over your AD carry, over the enemy AD carry. Like, how do you lose that? Honestly, like how even if it's a pure 4v4 or whatever, even if everyone TPs in, that is such a huge advantage there that I just feel like they should try and force that while this window is here, you know, while that's open and while they have such a huge item lead in the bot lane.
Venza got actually a free back there also because of that BF sword, because he took Until Spellbook, got the TB into the bottom lane, and had the BF sword in inventory, was able to push in Xmatty because he can't fight him, got the wave advantage, and now he gets a free back. And so double free back off one teleport is pretty gigantic. Has got a pickaxe even now against Xmatty's pickaxe and recurve.
I mean, again, here is another great opportunity where they could try and just full-on rush this dragon down.
Yeah.
They know that Xmatty's had a pretty late recall here. Just as far as it goes, as far as item power spikes, you don't really get much out of the pickaxe and the recurve bow compared to just having fat off amounts of AD. So this is in Tristana's favor, and I would look to prep with some vision here, get your pink wards down, take the Scuttle Crab. Exactly what they're doing. They're going for the dragon, and Xmatty is back in lane here. They don't actually see that ward in the bot. Ooh. And yeah, if Dan's top, I mean, this is a free dragon.
Sundo flashing as well. Dan did use the ultimate to try and get an engagement. Half HP, piercing arrow, not quite enough. Taxa is going to smite that one away. That'll be an Infernal Dragon for XL to start us off.
That's a bit unlucky RNG from Wind and Rain there, actually, because Wind and Rain, they want to pressure topside because they want to play around their strong lane here, which is the Urgot into the Ornn. But when you've got an Infernal Dragon, that makes that, it's pretty punishing, because if you do show topside, you kind of forfeit that dragon, right? But here comes the first bar tower rush right here. Is it going to go down to Rifty and Dan in the top side? Or Zach's actually going for Herald here.
Okay, so they're actually just giving up pressure in the top side and give up pressure in the bottom side as well, all for that Rift Herald. Just fantastic rotations from XL already into the game. We're only 10 minutes in. They've got almost a turret in the bottom lane. They've got an Infernal, and Taxa is just ready and waiting to go. Xmatty's going to have a rough game. If he's forced to farm this far back, this Varus isn't going to be able to come online with this auto-attack focused build in the Gwynzos and the Runans, and he's going to be a non-factor. In fact, he's not going to be a non-factor. He's got the ult. He's going to be an ult bot.
You have to go for this now. You know they've just taken the Herald here. If they show topside, that's first blood tower dead. You have to try and get this first blood tower right now. Although Taxa, not Taxa, sorry, Dan is recalling.
Oh, Venza took Aragorn there.
Oh, okay, no minions
Venza
here.
doesn't quite get stunned up. In fact, yes, he does. Root lands straight onto Taxa. A bomb, a flash from AOD. Can't quite find the vision in the bush. Ooh. But it doesn't matter because the first blood did come through. And here is Godbro keeping warm in his 4 Challenger jackets. Is going to take out Venza also. Duel, wrong place, wrong time. Buddy, there's the double kill. Godbro starting to heat up.
That was unfortunate there. I feel like they were a little bit hesitant to pull that trigger, but that is the respect you have to give to a Taliyah mid lane. If you've picked it, that's what you need to do. You need to utilize the fact that you don't really have an ultimate as far as combat stats and fighting goes. You have an ultimate to roam with. They roam down, pick up the double kill, protect that first blood tower more importantly, and now it'll be interesting to see how this game changes a little bit here around the first blood tower. So, is Wind and Rain going to put a lot of pressure, continue to put pressure in the spot side to defend that tower? So we saw as this started, the minions died, and as soon as the minions die, Xmatty throws out his ultimate, locks them under the tower's turning on them, there are no minions, follow up with the bomb, follow up with the roam from Taliyah as well. 3 kills for 0, pretty good, but there goes the first blood. So I guess Wind and Rain didn't really care too much about stopping that. It was really low to be fair, like, It's probably one of those situations where they're like, well, that's probably dead anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, a couple of minion waves and it would have just fallen over realistically. But what do they do now? Where do they play around? Because they're obviously going to rotate to top side, and they're going to be able to force the Urgot out of lane. In fact, Rifty's already rotated down to bot lane as soon as I said that. Sendo doing the same thing. Nice engagement. Oh, there's bounced straight over the wall. Jewel in a lot of trouble. Does flash, blasting cone available. Jumps over to the red buffer. Golro's going to follow him. He goes golden. There are the pebbles. Venza a little bit too late. Hasn't even got the heal. Took the teleport, remember, and he ends up falling down. That'll be Godbro with his third kill.
Godbro didn't even use his ultimate to get into that, and that was in XL's jungle right there. Both times when Godbro has gone for these roams, Criminal's just been glued to his mid lane, pushing down the minion wave. He does have 20 CS lead, but would you rather have a 20 CS lead, or would you rather have won those little skirmishes there? And you have to wonder whether we could, yeah, I don't know. I think Criminal has given up a lot of that pressure into the mid lane. Oh,
nice double stun. Ah, the game pauses as soon as this double stun did come through. Well, 3-0 on Godbro right now. He's even got 6 stacks on the old Dark Seal. All right, okay, we're seeing our first Dark Seal coming out. I hope so. He's got Morel and Amacon already on board. Krumel has got Stingers. Krumel was your player to watch out for as well. And Nash's Tooth, sorry, yeah.
It's different colour.
Different colour, ever so slightly from Stinger.
Apparently,
one day
if you dye something blue, put it yellow, bam! Huge power comes through the eye.
Gold.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what he's done. You get the 2K, just dunk it right in.
That turret looking rather unhealthy though. Bits of it just falling apart. That Rift Herald play in the top side has just led Godbro also to get a lot of damage down onto this mid-tier 1 also. So right now, Wind and Rain playing the map extremely well. Krumel can't quite stop the back of Godbro.
Yeah, he's going to let... It's funny how he roams to try and defend that tower there, but not before when he could have tried to prevent it from happening either way. But I might sound like I'm being a bit too harsh from here. Azir, if you scale... Azir's definitely not hit his power spike yet, so if Criminal can just keep farming and XL can kind of hold on, I mean, what are they really losing here? They lost a tower. Is that a massive deal? They're giving 3 kills to Talia. Is that a massive deal? Not really, honestly. Like, I don't think it influences XL's win condition too much, as Criminal steals the Scuttle Crab and Taxa question mark pings him. That's a classic jungle move right there.
What are you doing, fam?
Yeah, that's
give me that gold.
You get like 30 extra gold. Oh, here it comes.
With the Streamer shuffle onto Godbro. Hasn't got flash. Only the cleanse gets shut down. Zach did come in also. Dan maybe just caught out a little bit too far. Does go golden, but there are a lot of soldiers surrounding him. Even flashes away. Goes into blob form. AOD is here, but the soldiers from range should be able to finish him off. But Rifty comes through with the teleport. Very clutch. Doesn't quite sacrifice his life as well, but Godbro does end up falling.
There was so much CC coming out of XL there that Dan, a Zac, a full tank Zac, Cinder Hulk Ninja Tabby Zac, was CC chained and died, or got split up there. That is a lot of CC, and imagine the later the game goes on where you have that combined with the crazy amount of damage coming through from Tristana and from Azir. That is just scary. That's going to be something that
got to watch out for.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it could be something a bit similar to the previous game we saw, where Diabolos was up against a pretty strong carries, and they had a 3-man front line, but they were just paper basically because of the enemy carries. Because if they get that far ahead, you just your front line, not really much for a front line. They just die very fast. So Wind and Rain definitely want to avoid a situation like that in this game.
Well, Wind and Rain really did play around their win condition versus M&M. Rifty was that person that popped off in that game. This time it is Godbro. So we'll see if they can play around the pressure that the Talia can provide. In fact, they're going to do that right now. That Mountain Drake is going to get started up. There's going to be no reaction from XL. Free Mountain Drake. Thank you very much. Wind and Rain will score that one. Will be 1 dragon to 1, but what would you rather have at this stage of the game, Inferno or Mountain? It's going to be Mountain, especially as you need to get those turrets down, because if Venter gets his hands on the turrets, it's no problem. You can just destroy them rather instantly, but their turret taking capabilities aren't quite as strong. There's the Ram coming out, not doing too much. Rifty's going to soak the turret, and that'll be another turret going down, but traded in the top lane. XL are going to secure themselves one as well.
Yeah, I think if you're XL, you're happy with this trade. It's a tower for a tower, plus you're kind of giving up by pressure right now because you're just not really that strong versus this team. Right now, at this stage at least, XL aren't too favourably matched up to Wind and Rain. So we have mentioned that Gobro is the one popping off for Wind and Rain this game. He has roamed and given advantages to his team, like when he were on bot side and they got those kills there. But as far as individual strength goes, if you look at the CS numbers, the fact that he is 50 CS down, I mean, Criminal is richer than Gobro right now as far as like a personal level goes. I mean, it's not really a big deal as far as the actual strength of these champions are. It's just what advantages has that given over to the other team. And if you look at the gold difference, 400 gold, less than 100 gold per character here. It's not a huge amount of gold difference really, so it may look like the game's kind of tilted into a certain direction there with the plays that Wind and Rain were able to make, but this game is still really, really even, and I'd have to say, being XL here, you're happy with that. I mean, yeah. You don't mind if you have to go to late game.
No, especially if you got Venza on the Tristana as well, who has suffered a death, and so is Jewel. 0 and 2 and 0 and 1 in that bottom lane. 0-3 all together has made up most of their team's deaths. Stand going for a small engagement. Let's Bounce going to find crewmate, but he bounces out of it. I don't even know what happened there. Just Shireen shuffle backwards. Chain of Corruption does find him. Matty is going to find the kill. Gobro tanks the Glacial Prism. Dan not quite falling down just yet. A very durable blob is he. Wind and Rain still marching on to this turret, and Rifty looking for a little something on the sidelines. There's a call of the Forge God. Taxa goes in, gets the ram misses Maddie. Does go golden for a second. Rifty in the front line just goes knocked airborne straight underneath the turret. Takes that turret aggro, and Sendo will end up finishing him off. No pass go. No, collect $200. Sendo's going to go golden also. The Talia wall's going to cut him off, but a flash will send him to safety.
That was a really crazy fight, actually. That all happened under XL's tower as well. Even they engaged there with Criminal. A little bit of a botched kidnap from Dan there, but either way, it gets the job done. A little bit more extended than they wanted it to be, but still, Criminal goes down, and then League of Stopwatches always gives at least one of those fights per game, where everyone just blows their stopwatch. Matty used it to dodge the Ornn ultimate. Ornn used it to dodge the Zac slap, or the clap, his Q. And there was just, yeah, golden after golden. But a good fight nonetheless. Entertaining. Entertaining
that it was. I mean, a couple of kills went over, but no turrets, it was kind of a null and void fight, yeah, really. It was just a little bit of gold exchanging hands in that regard. Sendo has got a big wave built up in the bottom lane, though. It's going to be nice and chunky for Rifty. However, Dan is going to be there just to make sure Rifty is more than safe. Baron has spawned at that 20-minute mark. And someone I want to touch on really quickly again is Gobro on this Talia. I was speaking to Frogger not so recently, and he was saying Talia is probably one of the best champions right now to climb in solo queue at least. Obviously he's been streaming over in Korea and has hit top 10 also, and he says Talia is just so good right now because of the amount of influence you have on the map and the control you have in the mid lane as well. And even you were saying, if you kind of look at the challenger ladder and look at all the mid laners, somewhere in there, they have Talia on their top 3 most played. Yeah, absolutely. Korea absolutely loves Talia, pretty much for the reason that you're seeing this game. Your ability to just influence the map is pretty crazy. Matty sends that one a little bit wide. Chains of Corruption not quite hitting Venza, but did sidestep it. And in fact, the only thing Froggen did say was the reason why he loses games because top lane feeds. I thought top lane was a rubbish role. 0 impact role, that's what I heard. Oh, okay, well. If it feeds in his game, that's why he loses. Damn. There you go. Something doesn't add up there. But this Talia we mentioned is decent in solo queue. How does that translate to competitive though? And especially if you're playing this champion into a massive front line, that is not fun at all. Your damage just gets blocked by these tanky people who you really don't want to have blocking your damage. She's good if she can just pelt those rocks into squishier targets, but it gets a lot more complicated when you're throwing those out onto a Sejuani, onto a Braum, onto an Ornn. Like it's tricky, really tricky, and especially with these kind of champions where if you're close enough to hurt them, they're close enough to engage onto you. I wouldn't be too worried if I were XL with the fact that all the kills are sitting onto Gobro right here. That's something we talked about in the champion select was the fact that Venza is pretty safe behind all these front lines. How are War going to actually get on the back line? We are yet to actually see it. He's been caught out. That's how he's been killed. Small 1v1. Rifty trying to take on Sendo, doing a fair bit of damage, but bellowing breath, just trading up rather handsomely.
I mean, that's just vile, really. Urgot's whole purpose is just to destroy the 1v1, to destroy the lane phase. He's built a Black Cleaver, and he's still getting his ass handed to him by an Ornn.
He's got Warmogs and Frozen Heart.
Who's full ECS down.
All the armor, all the HP, come on. That's why he's not dying. Wind and Rain now, looking to posture towards this dragon. But it is an Ocean Drake, so they're going to maybe look towards the mid lane for something. Rifty? No.
Oh, here comes the engage.
Here comes the Ram. Ooh. Oh, see you later. But it doesn't matter. Sender's going to go in, gets a nice double knock-up. AOD moving out the way, already out the flight. Glacial Prison to go wide. No one quite caught just yet. Dan goes in. There goes the Emperor's Defy. Redemption's going to come down to heal him, but it's too late. He's already in the blob form. Even those pebbles aren't quite hitting him. Godbro cannot land that damage, but they still force them out. And maybe some pressure in the mid lane to take that tier 1.
The disengage from XL right here is crazy with this lineup, and that's perfect when you're still waiting for your carries to ramp up. There's only one complete item coming out of Krimmel. There's 2 coming out of Tristana, who is famously one of those 3-item power spike champions. Don't force the fights if you don't have to, when you know later on down the line you're going to be winning these fights. So, huge disengage coming out of there. That's got to be frustrating if you're Wind and Rain, really. You're jumping in on Dan, and then just nope, Shireen is shuffled out of it, and you're still getting put in Mr. Blobby. So that's just like, yeah, unfortunate engage there for Wind and Rain. And XL are more than happy to take their time with these, and they might be posturing for a cheeky ban here.
Cheeky, cheeky, sneaky, sneaky. XL moving forward. Dan's going to come through. Godbro does have that Weaver's War, but Taxa is going to find the squishy blob. AOD on the other side. Throws a double bomb over. Only finds Taxa with the stun. Still undeterred. Sendo is going to move forward. Nice double boot in there from Dan. Does bring them together, but Godbro just pummeling the front line, and Sendo is actually going to fall. Weaver's War is going to knock them up and trap them in. Rifty is also there. Duel. Wrong place, wrong time, buddy, but Godbro's on the other side of the wall as well. 1v3. He finds another kill. Cruvel is going to fall. A flash from Venza to get out the way. He's got the cleanse, but has he got the damage? Godbro can't quite find the pedals, but AOD is there. Another kill for Godbro. Signals his second one of the fight, and Matty is just going to finish up the Sejuani. Taxa has been taxed. All the gold in War's pocket. Wind and Rain pocket the Baron as well.
I have to say that a 0-5 plus Baron forfeit is probably bad news for XL. That was interesting as well, because it was the complete opposite of what just happened before in the previous fight, where Wind and Rain pulled the trigger and XL was like, no, we're not having any of this, let's disengage. This time around, XL pulled the trigger, but they just stepped forward a little bit too much, and Rift wasn't even there for a really long time. He was TPing into around where AOD is now, and took him ages to even join the fight. A really nice Weaver's Wall coming out of Godbro there, which just... once that goes down, it's kind of every man for himself, and that just routed XL. Here we see here is the Weaver's Wall, where people have to jump out, flash out, use their gap closers, they're gone, which immediately means it's over. The fight is over at this point. Picking up 3 kills left, right, and center, and then just chasing the poor sods down. Tristana, yeah, you're out of there, mate. Sejuani, you're going down too, I'm afraid. It's cheeky you tried to sit in the bush here to, I don't know.
Try and stall just a little bit longer. I'm on sub 10 HP, but I might be able to try and do something, maybe. A minion looks at me funny, I'm probably dead, but Baron goes over to Wind and Rain, 10-2 on the scoreboard. And XL looks so strong in the early game as well. That's what's quite surprising. In all honesty, their rotations are really nice. Again, taking that early Infernal Drake signaled so many good things for them. Jules going to get jumped on. Elastic Slingshot is going to find him and a flash away from the kidnap. He's going to quite find him, but that's still, again, puts a lot of pressure down onto that mid lane. Tier 1 turrets still standing for XL.
Oh, that's worth it. You take a flash from ultimate any day. It seems to be a bit of a curse taking an early Infernal in these games. Early Infernals seem to spell doom for the teams that take them later on down the line. What is really surprising to me about how this game has unfolded, though, is, like I mentioned before, it seems as though XL had this game plan in their head. They understood their win condition, and they really didn't want to do too much early on. You know, they really didn't want to do too much. They just wanted to scale, and they seem to just be really like, okay, that's what we're gonna do. And then not 5 minutes later, they're just like, actually, screw that. Let's try our hand at not doing that, and it all goes wrong. It's just a real kind of flick, I guess, in just like the ideology of how they wanted to face this game, which is quite interesting. And it's cost them, but we mentioned before, very good late game team, carries, frontline.
They need to make it stick. That's the thing. They need to be able to put Jewel in the front line, put that shield up, absorb Godbro's damage, and then engage using that Glacial Prism. Or even Krumel with a nice Shurima Shuffle could knock Xmati out of the backline and into the clutches of XL. But right now, they can't actually get to Xmati because Godbro's damage is too much. There comes another Weaver's Wall. Venza should be okay. In fact, that Weaver's Wall did go a little bit short. In fact, does lead Ward to take another turret. Wind and Rain right now. Cooking up a storm, I should say the least.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of these situations where if you're playing versus Baron and you're trying to stall, that's really hard to do. Because the minions are just too tanky for you to clear under tower. They have very good wave clear, very good wave clear on XL's side. They can stall if they want to. But this is what's so great about the Baron. This is why you want to take Baron. If you're strong but you're just struggling to crack the base. Because these minions become tanky enough that you can just... I can't imagine Dan's going to jump in on that.
Oh, do it, Dan! Oh.
He's been pretty ballsy this game. He doesn't mind jumping in, but there's a lot of people there.
You got Krumel as well with his soldiers.
Oh, that's a good catch.
No, that's good. Double stun as well from AOD. Redemption's going to come down to heal them up. Krumel's already gone down, and that's another kill. Dan is just going to annihilate Jewel. Venza with an inch of HP manages to get out in time, but that's another turret gone. Taxa, I don't know how he died, but he died. Like, there was just too many bodies on top, and that front line, again, just absolutely obliterated.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, they're too far behind. Their front line just dies really fast, and we're not really at that point, like I mentioned with the Talia, where she struggles against the front line. We're not at that point yet, because it's too early in the game. They don't have all these items.
Too early in the game? We are 30 minutes in almost, Fox. What are you talking about?
I mean, no one's even building MR either, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Sendo, he's a big body, but he's gone Frozen Heart. I mean, that's not even health. That's just pure armor. Like, that's useless against Talia.
Hey, he's got Warmogs, but...
Yeah, of course. It's
still
just...
not a lot.
Yeah, it's like... Basically, Godbro is at the point where he's absolutely destroying people, and he can still do that. If this were like a 6-item game right here, 6-item build game, or if this game XL had taken this one a little bit more patiently and Talia wasn't so far ahead, then on paper this could be a tough team for him to crack. But
why hasn't he built Magi's? Come on,
yeah,
you've had 10 stacks for the longest time. Why no Magi's? Come on,
that's true.
Don't disappoint us.
I feel like if you build Magi's at this stage of the game, if you're going to do it, you should have done it earlier, because that is dominance. You look at Krimmel, I've put him as my player of the game, and I'm sure Godbro was watching. I was like, what a load of rubbish. Krimmel player to watch. Get out of here. I'm going to show you what's done.
Hold my pulsen is what he'd say.
Hold my pulser.
Pulser. The only Danish word I know.
Yeah,
my Danish friends taught me one word.
Pulser.
Pulser.
I know other words, but probably shouldn't be saying them.
Oh yeah, the classic.
It's how it goes, isn't it? Anytime you ask a friend who speaks a different language to teach you words, they always tell you things you can't repeat in front of anyone.
Anyone
that you shouldn't repeat in front of anyone.
That's the only words I actually learned in a Korean solo queue, by the way. With the bad ones.
With the bad ones.
Yeah.
Well, there's that one that looks like a backwards F that's just people laughing.
Yeah, that's haha. Yeah, that's just haha, right.
That's not too rude.
There are a few. I'm talking like voice comms though in Korea, so it's like when they say a number, they do it in League of Legends as well. They'll put a number, where you are on the board in champion select and stuff. They'll do it in like Overwatch as well. They'll put a number. So if they say like if you're in position 1, hang on a sec, Dan, come on, interrupt my story. If they put 1, Chains of Corruption, okay, we're going to go into a fight. Glacial Prism actually is going to land straight on the back line. Matty actually is completely negated out of this fight. 2 big forms of CC landing on top of him. GA though is going to keep alive. Rifty moving forward. Venza's already out of the fight, but Godbro separating the team completely. Kidnap does come through, but doesn't quite get over the wall. In fact, this could be Dan saying goodbye. It's actually inside the base of XL now. Gets punted back by Venza, but Elastic Slingshot straight out of combat. How did he survive that? He got knocked over 2 different walls, Fox.
That was something. I mean, Dan definitely put the nap into kidnap, because that was one of those like snooze plays right there. He definitely didn't want to do that. That was a really, really solid disengage from Sendu though. Like he slapped down the Ornn ultimate and it just plowed through Matty there, so he couldn't follow up. And the Godbro ultimate, I mean, this guy, his ults are really on point. He's so good, not just roaming, but just separating the team fight.
That's why he's got 4 challenger jackets, just like.
Yeah.
If you've not seen that photo, it's pretty funny. He's just like outside, like basking in the sun. He's like with 4 layers on, 4 jackets. Like, what up? Got mine. Where are yours, by the way? Like,
I'll settle for my George as the smart price.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, come at me, mate.
All that sick YouTube bank you're making.
Yeah.
That as the smart price, dude.
You got a flex.
Yeah. Got a flex.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a reverse flex.
Oh yeah. You don't, you know, you're trying to be a little bit modest there. You don't want to make people feel bad, you know. You got your Giorgio Armani in the cupboard. You don't bring it out because it's your only one, because you could only afford one. But needless to say, you still got one.
It gets into their heads because they're like, damn, this guy is literally a billionaire, yet he's wearing it as a smart price.
Genius. Maybe that's why he's a billionaire. Another nice wall from Godbro is actually going to separate the team. Dan goes straight in. Venza doesn't quite make it over the wall, but he's in a good position to actually do a lot of damage. Dan gets stunned up and another knock-up. He's just rooted in place, but Rifty on the back line jumps straight onto Venza. Still gets out alive. Cleansed and Flash wasn't quite enough, and Rifty sentences him to the grave. Godbro picks up another kill onto Creamel. Sendu in the back line. Xmati just dealing with him quite handily, and XL are just getting torn to pieces. Another kill will land onto Jewel if he's not careful. He's got the shield, but no armor to speak of. War now focus the turrets down.
I have to think that might be the game here as well. They've just picked up Baron. There's only one tower stand between them and the Nexus. It's going down. I don't think they're going to have it here.
Nexus is going to drop. AOD just focusing it, throwing the cogs out. Sendu trying to do a little something, but they've got Xmati to finish off the game. 16-3 scoreline. Another 34-minute game here in the Prem. These games are getting longer, but the fights, they're getting more crazy.
That was, yeah, crazy. What a beautiful word to really sum that game up. I mean, that was